All right, we're going to go through the answers to the fraction worksheet. And again, fractions are something that shouldn't scare us. They don't need to intimidate us. If you didn't like them back in middle school, hopefully you hear something and feel something different here in high school. They just don't have to be as scary as you thought. So here we have 14 25ths plus 6 25ths. Because the 25ths are the same, I can go ahead and add these together. 14 of them plus 6 more of them will give me 20 of them. I end up with 20 25ths. Now that is correct, and there's nothing wrong with that answer. If we want it simplified, then what we have to do is try to find a number that divides evenly into both of them. And if we divide both of those by 5, we'll end up with 4/5. So 4/5 is the same as 20 25ths. It's just a little reduced, and probably, in a case of a multiple choice, might be the answer you have to pick. But again, nothing wrong with just adding them up and having that there. Okay. Same thing here. We got 7/10. Take away 1/10. The tenths are the same, so we can go ahead and put those together. 7/10 minus 1/10 is 6/10. And there's nothing wrong with that. If we divide both by 2 to kind of reduce that, we get 3/5. Those are the exact same fraction. This is just in reduced terms. And so again, on a multiple choice, you might have to pick that one over that one, but they're both equivalent. So when we get to number 3, that we have something different. We have different denominators. And so in a case like that, we have to create a common denominator in order to be able to add or subtract fractions. And so I want that 3 to come up to the 9. And so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3. So I get 3 times 2, 6, and 3 times 3, 9. So 6/9 is the same as 2/3. There's no difference between those two fractions. It's just a different way of expressing it. But because we express it that way, now we're able to add them together, right? 6/9 plus 1/9 will give us 7/9. And that's our answer there. Same thing here. I can't subtract these until I have common denominators, the same kinds of things that we're talking about. So I can multiply this 5 by 4. That'll create 16/20. 16/20 is the same as 4/5, and 16/20 minus 1/20 will give me 15/20. Now that's what this minus this is. I can go one step further and divide both of those by 5, which will give me 3/4. And again, nothing that we do here should blow you away. It's stuff that you probably have seen before and done before. And whether you liked it or didn't like it, again, the key is just to make sure you understand it, right? Same thing with 5 and 6. There's nothing to get too panicked about here. If we multiply fractions, we can just simply go top times top. 3 times 4 is 12, and bottom times bottom. 4 times 5 is 20. And then from here, try to find a number that divides evenly into both of them. In this case, 4 goes into both of them. It gives us 3/5. Okay. Some of you may be shown a different thing, like back here when you were multiplying, you could have canceled 4 and 4, and you would have had 3 times 1 on the top, 1 times 5 on the bottom. Would have got the same thing, a little quicker maybe. Doesn't matter. The key is to just, again, have some kind of strategy that gets you there. Number 6 here, same thing. When we divide, we want to keep that first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and you're going to flip that second fraction. So when we divide fractions, we multiply by what we call the reciprocal of the other one. So when that one flips, we can go ahead and go top times top and bottom times bottom. And in a case like this, they're both divisible by 12. We end up with 1/2 for our answer there. Okay. So again, hopefully that felt pretty comfortable in what you're doing. And again, the same thing, we could have knocked those out. We would have had 4/8, which also comes to 1/2 there. All right, then we get the order of operations, and we want to just, again, make sure that we have a clear understanding what that order is. We should always do parentheses first. Anytime we see parentheses, we're going to focus on that. Then we should do any exponents, all right, and work those out. Then we should multiply or divide, and one is not better than the other. We just go from left to right, do all of those. And then the last thing we're going to do is add or subtract. All right, so that's our order. So I see here I got 15 divided by 3 plus 4 times 2. There are no parentheses. There are no exponents. So now I'm going to do the multiplying and dividing. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 4 times 2 is 8. So I've done those two things first. Now I can add them together. 5 plus 8 gives me 13. Same thing over here. 20 minus 11 plus 2 times 4. There's no parentheses. There's no exponents, but I am going to multiply 2 times 4. That's going to give me 8 here. All right, now I can add and subtract going from left to right. 20 minus 11 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. All right. So again, it's not that we're not going to throw anything too difficult at you. We just want to see and make sure you have the order right. Here we do have parentheses, so we're going to go ahead and go 2 plus 4 is 6. Now I've got 5 times 6 minus 24 divided by 3. We'll go ahead and multiply next. 5 times 6 is 30. Divide 24 divided by 3 is 8. Then the final thing we'll do is subtract. 30 minus 8 gives us 22. All right. We're going to want to show those steps on our quiz at the end of this week. Same thing here. We've got parentheses. There's nothing really inside the parentheses, just a 5, but we do have an exponent, so we need to do that. So 5 squared, that means 5 times 5, which is 25. All right, now we can multiply 4 times 25. 4 quarters is $1, so 100 we get there. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And then we can go ahead and subtract that. 100 minus 7 is 93. Okay. So again, hopefully these are just refreshers, but if it has been a while or it just didn't feel very comfortable, don't worry. Hopefully this made sense. If you do need some extra practice, just let me know, and I can certainly help out before our quiz on Friday.